Morrison is on deck. I am going to refresh this page again.
You're good.
Don't start yet. Making sure it's not glitching again. Alright, you all set?
Yeah, I'm good.
Alright, go ahead.
Okay, hi, my name is Will Morris, and today I'm going to be talking about ocean pollution. So just imagine this. I'm just going to start with kind of like an example, like the fact that every single minute a truckload of plastic waste is dumped into our oceans, which at the end of a year kind of equates into over 8 million tons of just plastic waste. If you picture that much waste on a beach, it's overwhelming. But in the ocean where it drifts and spreads, it's kind of less in the front of your mind, but it still harms the ecosystems that we rely on. Today I want to discuss the issue of ocean pollution, which isn't just a distant environmental problem. It impacts ecosystems, human health, and even our economy. My goal here is to persuade you that ocean pollution is a serious problem and to offer ways that we can address it together. I'll discuss three main points: the scope of ocean pollution, how it impacts marine life and human life, and then give like an overlook and how we can kind of solve this problem as individuals and as like a community. So just how big is this problem? It's more than just a few plastic bottles and bags floating around. Plastics alone make up about 60 to 80% of marine debris according to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. However, there's also chemical runoff from agriculture, heavy metals from industrial waste, and abandoned fishing gear, also called ghost gear. Each of these contributes to a complex layered pollution crisis. This pollution does not just stay in one place though. The ocean currents obviously carry it thousands of miles and create massive areas of concentrated waste like the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. This area alone is twice the size of Texas, and it continues to grow every year. The consequences of all this pollution are very severe. Marine animals like sea turtles, dolphins, and seabirds often will mistake this plastic for food, which will lead them to either starve or be poisoned by the plastic. Plastic and other pollutants will also break down into microplastics that are easily ingested by fish, which means that they eventually make their way up the food chain to us, and we end up eating microplastics, which I know you hear about a lot today. The Marine Pollution Bulletin reports that nearly 100,000 marine animals die annually because of entanglement or ingestion of these plastics. These pollutants don't just affect the marine life though. Like I said, they have a long-term health impact on us too. Consuming seafood containing these microplastics and other toxic chemicals can be linked to issues like hormone disruption, developmental problems, and even cancer. Beyond health and environmental impacts though, ocean pollution also affects economic costs. Global tourism industries suffer because of polluted beaches and become less appealing. Like you don't want to go to a beach that's filled with garbage. Fisheries in other areas are also affected. Polluted waters lead to a declining fish population, which will impact the livelihoods of people who depend on the fishing industry. In the United States alone, it's estimated that ocean pollution costs us millions of dollars each year in lost tourism and fishing revenue. So what are some solutions to this? What can we do about this? One major step through policy changes. Several countries are already making progress, such as the European Union. They've banned single-use plastics like straws and cutlery, which has led to significant reductions in plastic waste. Policies like these could be implemented here, which would limit plastic production and encourage recycling. Imagine here in Adrian, if we adopted similar policies, we'd see less plastic entering our oceans and other bodies of water and shift towards more sustainable practices. Another thing we can do is encourage corporations to invest in biodegradable alternatives to plastics. And as people and consumers hold them accountable for their environmental impacts, that would affect the oceans. That would be a big part in policy shift. But these changes don't only come from government policies. We, on a smaller level of the community, can also make an impact. We start by reducing single-use plastics in our own lives, or by using reusable bags or water bottles. An example I like is at Ritchie here. They have a lot of single-use things like napkins or spoons or like other sort of cups. And there's always an alternative there, like using steel or silverware instead of plastic. And that's just something we here can make an impact with. You can also participate in or help organize like a community beach cleanup. It's another direct way to make an impact. All these little things like add up, and the Ocean Conservancy reports that in 2022 alone, over 20 million pounds of trash were collected just through these sort of volunteering efforts. The Environmental Science and Technology Journal also highlights that small improvements in waste management and individual actions could reduce ocean pollution by up to 80% by 2040. So our small collective efforts do really matter. Now, just looking to the future, imagine a world where our oceans are cleaner, marine life can thrive, and coastal areas are free of plastic waste. Picture families in pollution-free waters and fishing communities being sustainable with healthy fish populations. The possibility of a healthy, cleaner ocean is within our reach, but we kind of have to act now. Because if we don't do anything, the situation will only get worse. The World Wildlife Fund predicts that without intervention, we could see more plastic in the ocean than fish by 2050. And it won't just affect our marine life, like I said, it'll affect our health and our economy. We'd be passing down an ocean so polluted that it'd be less of a resource and more of a liability. To summarize, ocean pollution is extensive and deeply harmful, but there are real solutions, either policy changes or personal actions that can help us with this issue. I urge each of you to take small steps and reduce plastic use, support policies, and protect our oceans. And the biggest thing is, we didn't really inherit the earth from our ancestors, but we're more borrowing it from our children. So it's kind of really important that we give them a clean ocean. Thank you.